And the day came when the risk it took to remain tightly closed in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to bloom. This is the element of freedom.
Hey, it's Mina Munche with another episode of I'm Coming Out, Real People, Real Stories. And today I'm going to be talking to a classmate of mine, Ahvee, and she's going to share her story. And remember, October 11th, this coming Monday, is National Coming Out Day. So if you would like to use this as an outlet to come out, please do it. Or just to share a story. That'd be cool too. So anyway, hello, Ahvee.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
All right, so do you identify yourself as a lesbian?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been out?
Actually, I just came out this summer.
How did that go?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to keep it, short. I went home, and my girlfriend came. She came to visit me, and we went over to my aunt's house, and one of my favorite cousins was with me, and we went to my aunt's house, and my aunt was asking my cousin questions, like what's going on with Ahvee, because I hadn't been communicating with my family a lot, being away at school. I live in New York, and school is in North Carolina, so I hadn't been like calling home and stuff like that. So she was asking, what's going on with Ahvee, and my cousin was just kind of like, I don't know, you need to talk to her. So me and my girlfriend came in the house. My cousin said, Auntie want to talk to you. I was like, man, like what does she want to talk about? So I ended up being alone, and my aunt came in. She was like, come on, let's go talk. We went on the porch, and we would just talk. She was like, what's going on with you? Trying to get it out of me, trying to get it out. And I was just like, it's nothing, I'm just doing me, basically. So she's like, no, something's going on with you because you're not, communicating, and you're not talking, and all that other type of thing. So then she was just like, you like girls, or like you're a lesbian, or something like that. She said something like that, and I was just like, oh, and then all the tears started coming, like, no, like. And then she was just like, it's okay, like, you needed to tell someone and all this other stuff. And I was just like, okay, good. Then my girlfriend came in. She was like, hey, yeah, I need to talk to you. She needs to talk to her family about this type of thing. And, you need to basically encourage her to keep in contact with her family. And my girlfriend got really defensive, like I am and everything. So then they got into an argument. But
Really?
it ended okay. And at the end of the night, because this all happened that night, at the end of that night, my aunt was like, when are you going to tell your sister or your mother? Like, you need to tell them. And I was like, no, because I already know what they're going to say, because my religious background is like Israelite, same, I guess, as a lot of other religions. They don't accept homosexuality, something like that. So I was like, no, I can't tell them because they're gonna spaz out or whatever. She was like, no, you need to tell them. So the next day, I went to my sister's house. I told her. She was just like, whoa, that's a lot of information. I wasn't expecting that. She asked me questions about it, like how long, stuff like that. The next day after that, I went in. I told my mom. I did it by myself. The first time I did it, when I told my sister, I did it with my cousin. When I told my mom, I did it by myself. She did not accept it at all.
I was going to say, how did she react?
We were driving, so she...
That was dangerous,
really,
Ahvee.
I know.
That was dangerous. She could have hit somebody.
She couldn't really do anything. She just was quiet. Then she was just like, when? She started blaming other things like basketball, because I played basketball in high school. She blamed my friends. She blamed TV. She blamed everything you could think of. I tried my best to, tell her it was a decision that I made for myself. Not really a decision. It's just how I was thinking. It wasn't really about outside influences. So yeah, so then that happened. So that night I was upset. So I called my grandmother. My grandmother, she was like, "What's going on? I hear it in your voice. Something's wrong." And I was like, "Grandma, I can't even tell you right now. But I'm on my way. I'm gonna come over there." So I went over that night, and I told my grandma. And really, I thought out of all the people,
She would trip the most.
yeah, because she's older,
Mm-hmm.
older generation. I was thinking, "Dang, she gonna trip." She was just like, "Oh, that's it. Like, I thought you were being molested." Like,
Oh wow.
that's her whole thing. She thought something was big, like about to erupt in a family.
Like I'm pregnant.
Right. So actually, two of my cousins are lesbians. So, and they lived around her.
Mhm.
So she was used to it. And she was just like telling me, "Why didn't I tell her sooner? Because it's not a good thing to keep to yourself. Because a lot of people commit suicide, stuff like that."
True.
So,
And lately that's been happening.
Right.
You heard about the boy who was
right. So I guess
Yeah.
I know, like, she she watches the news every day, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's her thing. 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 at night. So she was just like really like, "What, you should have told me sooner. Don't worry about it. Don't trip. Your mother, she'll come around. Just make sure it's a decision that I really want to make for myself." Yeah. Then later on, before I was coming back to school, I felt like I really needed to tell my younger brother.
How old is he?
He is 16.
Okay.
16, turning 17. I felt like I really needed to tell him because I felt like it had drifted us apart because I didn't know how to tell him
Mhm.
because I didn't want him. I already knew that my older brother kind of had his ear, sort of.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to tell him and then he'd be like, "Oh, no, this is not right," because, what my older brother was feeding him, sort of.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So I waited to this summer, to this summer. And I kind of just flat out told him because I had already told 4 people, so I had like preparation, sort of.
Mhm.
So I just flat out told him, and he was just like, "I kind of knew this, but I wasn't sure, and I was waiting for you to tell me," that type of thing.
Mhm.
And that's basically my hectic, crazy coming out story.
And so what do you like I mentioned before, National Coming Out Day is on Monday.
Yes.
What would you like to say about that to people who maybe have not coming out, or people who are just terrified? I mean, because like it's a scary thing to do. Because like you said, my brother's almost 13, and he gets stuff that is put in his ear, and I don't know exactly. I want to say he's not at the age yet. So I mean, a lot of people make excuses, such as myself, like since I have not come out to everybody. But
Yeah, because I still my family is really big. So I haven't really come out to everyone. It's certain people that I probably won't, just because I know their history with like the family. Everyone knows their family. But one thing I would say is just be ready. Sometimes the result is not as bad as you expect it to be because you expect it to be like so big, like get out of my house type of thing.
mhm.
But as time goes on and it's more awareness, that it's not really a decision, it's just how you were made. So one thing I would say is just be confident. Even though this is you, do a little bit of research to know how to explain it to your family. Have some type of points in your head. Like I made sure I remembered when's the first time. Although most people remember when's the first time I actually acted on a feeling. I made sure I remember that.
Mhm.
I made sure I remember the first time I thought something, was different. I mentioned that I did talk to counselors, just so that I could get my thoughts together. Because I felt like this summer was going to be big. I just felt it, like something's going to happen. So just make sure, you have you're ready. Make sure you have an outlet, somebody, or even a friend that your family's close with. You could bring them in, because I made sure I did that. I made sure my cousin was there, so I could, if it didn't go well, I would just go to her and talk.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate it. I'm sure that you may have helped someone.
Hopefully, I hope I did.
All right. Thank you, Ahvee.